There are many factors that influence whether or not a game gets a sequel, from financial performance to fan engagement and critical reception. All sorts of aspects are taken into consideration. But sometimes, no matter how good these metrics are, some games simply don't get the follow-up they deserve so much. Welcome to HotFix Gaming. I'm Joy. Today, we look at 10 such games who are awesome and deserve a sequel. We've carefully picked only standalones, however, let us know in the comments section if you'd like to see a similar video about video game series. So, let's get started. Number 10. Kena Bridge of Spirits. Released in September 2021, Kena Bridge of Spirits is a Pixar-esque game in which players take on the role of Kena, a young spirit guide who uses her magical abilities to assist deceased people to move on to the spirit world. This isn't Kena's only job either, as the titular heroine is also tasked with collecting the adorable spirit companions known as the Rods, all while taking out enemies with her magical staff. From a financial point of view, this game broke even in a month after launching. Still, when developers were asked whether they'd make a sequel, they've said that it would be unlikely, but that they'd rather branch out the story of Kena into other mediums. They have hinted at perhaps adapting the game into an animated series or even a movie, hinting that the story will not end with the end credits of the game. Number 9. Bloodborne. With the release of Elden Ring in 2022, From Software's popularity has skyrocketed. Many new fans have gone back to try some of the developer's catalogue and have since joined the huge Bloodborne fan club. Bloodborne is a Souls-style game with a few unique twists that make it stand out, as not only a fan favourite, but also perhaps From Software's greatest game. Bloodborne's eerie gothic Victorian setting is distinctly unsettling, yet enticing at the same time, with secrets hiding under the surface. Its gameplay is also more fluid and fast-paced than many Souls-like games, with gameplay features such as recouped health and limited blocking options encouraging players to play on the front foot. According to Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne director Hidetaka Miyazaki, the lack of sequel isn't due to a lack of interest in the game, but rather an issue of IP ownership. We hope this gets rectified soon so that fans can get the sequel they've been praying for. Number 8. Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is an amazing yet underrated game. Many compared it with GTA upon its release, yet it really deserves to be given its own praise. The story follows Wei Shen, an undercover cop whose morality becomes questionable as he becomes more and more involved with the gangs he's trying to take down. With a strong narrative and brilliant gameplay, Sleeping Dogs really slipped under the radar for many. But those who know the game and have played it love it so much that they keep asking for a sequel. The game got reviewed very well and sold pretty well, so it definitely deserved the sequel that was planned, but unfortunately the sequel was scrapped. Number 7. Simpsons Hit and Run. After the success of the 2001 game The Simpsons Road Rage, developers created Hit and Run, an open-world sandbox similar to the GTA series. This title featured a fully realized digital Springfield for the first time ever, with many of the show's iconic locations and characters dotted across its different districts. For fans of the show, it was great to finally get to drive around Springfield and wreak havoc. The good part is you can still play Hit and Run today thanks to the handy emulators that allow for modern controllers, but let's be honest, the game deserves a sequel. Unfortunately, the sequel was cancelled when EA bought the rights to the Simpsons game. Number 6. Sunset Overdrive. Developed by Insomniac Games, the minds behind the Spider-Man games, Sunset Overdrive has distinct and gripping traversal mechanics, with players traveling and skating around the game's world on rails, something that would be tons of fun on modern consoles. The story of this title is also unique, with players taking down mutants in a dystopian world. Those mutants were the result of an energy drink that tainted its consumers and turned them into monstrosities. As great as the story and the mechanics sound, unfortunately the game only sold 1.9 million units, and because of that, the sequel was cancelled. It also didn't help that the game was released so close to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and was exclusive to Xbox One. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button as it helps our channel grow. Number 5. L.A. Noire. L.A. Noire set the standard for detective video games. The game's classically beautiful yet mysteriously seedy setting of 1940s Los Angeles struck a chord with fans who loved taking on the role of rising detective Cole Phelps. The third-person action gameplay took place within an open-world setting and had an overarching and twisting story that was broken down and told via several individual crime cases. From its use of motion scan technology to its gripping storyline, L.A. Noire managed to sell 5 million copies worldwide. In 2017, the game was re-released for the Xbox One, Switch, and PS4 with some visual upgrades. But when it comes to a possible sequel, Rockstar Games has LA Noire 2 on the back burner for now, as they're focusing currently on other games. Number 4. Grim Fandango. Imagine a skeleton whose sole purpose is to make sure people's journey to the afterlife is a pleasant one. But he works for an agency that takes everything people were buried with and sells them for houses and other luxuries in the afterlife. As the skeleton is out to snag his latest rich client, he falls deep down a rabbit hole of mystery. This game was excellent, from the humor, the voice acting, and the twist. Everything was perfect. Nowadays, people seem to be more appreciative of games like these, so it would be great for a modern studio to build a sequel for Grim Fandango. Number 3. Bully. Arguably Rockstar's most controversial game, Bully is an action-adventure game that puts players in control of its antisocial hero, Jimmy Hopkins, as he faces life in a strict new school, Bulworth Academy. The main controversies regarding this game stemmed from misconceptions about it and the implications of its title. As a result, in PAL regions, it was renamed to Canis Canem Edit, Latin school motto which translates to dog eat dog. The game's main story focused on Jimmy Hopkins' attempts to stop the prevalent bullying at the school, but that didn't stop it from being hugely controversial at the time. A sequel was planned and partly developed, but was eventually axed by Rockstar as focus shifted towards other projects. Number 2. Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus has been remade before, but that was long ago and the game could really use a sequel. Some might argue that the original had the perfect ending, but the sequel could do a lot in terms of the direction that the story could head in. The game has some of the best boss fights to date and creates an open-world experience full of vast loneliness. If the developers were to release a sequel, players would have many new Colossus to tackle and take down. A new Colossus game with modern-day visuals and mechanics would be a treat. Number 1. Days Gone. Days Gone is one of the very few games on this list that caused quite a controversy when it was denied a sequel. Despite selling over 9 million copies, Sony still rejected Bend Studios' plans for a second game. This really upset gamers, as Sony was also publicly celebrating another first-party IP, Ghost of Tsushima, for selling 8 million copies at the time with a potential sequel on the way. This apocalyptic open-world action-adventure game, Days Gone, follows the powerful and twisting journey of Deacon St. John, a motorcycle-riding mercenary as he searches for his missing wife, Sarah, with the help of his best friend, Boozer. The game stood out from other zombie games not only because of its story, but also because of the inclusion of terrifying zombie hordes that at first would instill fear into unprepared players before they eventually developed the skills to overcome them. The hardest pill to swallow about this game being denied a sequel is the fact that Days Gone ends on a cliffhanger, so now players will never get to see how Deacon's story ends. What other standalone games do you think deserve a sequel? Let us know your favorites in the comments section below. And if you want more gaming content, why not check out our 10 game franchises that reinvented themselves for success, or our top 10 hyped games that delivered. Both videos are linked on screen.